Jeremiah chapter 34. Warning to Zedekiah, because of course, right? While Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army and all the kingdoms of the peoples in the empire he ruled were fighting against Jerusalem and all its surrounding towns, this word came to Jeremiah from the Lord. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Go to Zedekiah, king of Judah, and tell him, this is what the Lord says. I am about to hand the city over to the king of Babylon, and he will burn it down. You will not escape from his grasp, but will surely be captured and handed over to him. You will see the king of Babylon with your own eyes, and he will speak with you face to face, and you will go to Babylon. Yet, hear the promise of the Lord. O Zedekiah, king of Judah, this is what the Lord says concerning you. You will not die by the sword. You will die peacefully. As people made a funeral fire in honor of your fathers, the former kings who preceded you, so they will make a fire in your honor and lament. Alas, O master, I myself make this promise, declares the Lord. Then Jeremiah the prophet told all this to Zedekiah, king of Judah, in Jerusalem, while the army of the king of Babylon was fighting against Jerusalem and the other cities of Judah that were still holding out, Lachish and Azekah. These were the only fortified cities left in Judah. So there were times now and again where King Zedekiah, because remember during this time they were worshiping whatever, and so every now and then they were also mixing in Judaism. They were also mixing in at that time worship of the Lord. So Zedekiah knew of the Lord. He knew of the covenant. He knew of the laws. He just didn't want to follow them. And so, but he also knew who he needed to turn to every now and then. And so there are little pieces here and there where Zedekiah, he was like, I need to find out from the Lord. I need to find out. So he sought out Jeremiah because Jeremiah was a prophet, right? And then when Jeremiah told him things he didn't want to hear, he threw him in prison. He's like, this is what the Lord's trying to tell you. And so Zedekiah's like, you going to jail. And so, yeah. And then we have Jeremiah telling him, look, this is going to happen. You're going to be turned over to the king of Babylon, and you're not going to die. You're going to live, but you're going to Babylon. And so there may have been a little bit of relief for him, but he still didn't like the answer. And so bring him past the present. We have to be careful with not liking the answer. Sometimes we will be seeking something or trying to do something, and we get an answer. We get an actual answer. But sometimes we don't want to listen to it. We don't want to hear it. We're like, no, that's not. I've done this and this and this to make sure that this plan works or to accomplish. No, but you're seeking guidance. You have a question. You want to fill that gap or whatever it is so you can make sure that it gets to that goal. And then sometimes you do receive that answer. But you feel like sometimes you ignore it. Sometimes you even ignore those feelings like, ooh, what I was just told is true, but I don't want to hear it. I bet I can do something and it'll happen correctly. During those times, lean into the Lord. Give it to the Lord. Ask for his guidance and wisdom. Because sometimes, he's trying to tell you ahead of time, nope, you're not going to accomplish it, or don't. Because you don't see the consequences that I already know is going to happen. So we have that. And you can take it into other parts of our lives too. When we see somebody else and we're in a conversation or it's with our loved one or whoever it is, and they are told something, we can ourselves go to the Lord and ask, is that information from the Lord? Is it from you, Lord? Are you trying to give us guidance? Are you trying to give us true guidance and prevent something? Let us know. We too can seek the Lord, and we can help others. Before we go on, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?